So first up, we start off with the bench press. So I'm just doing some warm-ups here with the bar, and then I go into higher weights, obviously. Uh, Even though the bench isn't the most optimal for hypertrophy, I've did it since I started, and really I just wanted to get a decent enough bench that was a respectable number, especially for my body weight. So this day that I was training, I actually was going for a 1 rep max of 105, which you'll see in a previous video or the next video, something like that. But unfortunately, I did not get it, and so instead I just opted to get 100. I don't know why I went down so slow. I don't know. But anyway, moving on, we go into the shoulder press. So I'm doing this to build my front delts because I have a little bit of front delt imbalance from baseball, but also this will improve bench press and overall aesthetics to get the V-taper look from having the fully developed shoulders. Then I go into lateral raises. This is probably the heaviest I train for lateral raises like ever. I probably should go down in weight. See, I'm kind of swinging here, but ideally I just want to be pulling with the side delt. Now moving on, we got the cable pullover. Now I usually do these standing, but I've gotten to the point where the weight is heavy enough where I'm using more of my core to stop myself being pulled back into the cable than using my lats to actually move the weight. So I brought a bench over to stabilize myself, and here I'm trying to keep my elbows fixed in position and like really pull through my lats. So hopefully that looks good. Then of course we got preacher curl, and if you're in the science-based community, you talk about preacher curls for brachialis. I think preacher curl is just a stable exercise. I really try and focus on stopping my shoulders rounding in together, because that's a big problem I have. You want to keep them fixed, otherwise it changes the form with the reps and stuff. So here I'm focusing on keeping my shoulders back, not using any momentum, and slowly lowering the weight, controlling it, and pulling through my biceps rather than just like getting the weight up. And of course my chest is always pressed into the pads, so I got to take some deep breaths because I kind of get a bit puffed because it's like literally crushing my lungs. That's biceps. And then I move on to this Smith machine variation of a row. I just started doing these recently, but I do these because there's no like chest supported T-bar row in my gym, so I set it up like this. I have a pad on the bench because that's not the most comfortable feeling of like the edge of the bench pressing into my chest, so the pad just makes it a little bit better, and then I can get a decent range of motion with chest support and still get a decent upper back movement as well. And finishing off with my triceps, I do triceps last. They're like the least important for me personally. I feel like my triceps are pretty well developed with the rest of my physique, so we're just doing a JM press on the Smith machine here. I'm focusing on tucking my elbows and just keeping it stable.